When NBA Jam was first released into arcades back in 1993, there was a lot of pressure on Midway to deliver a hit. After months of back and forth negotiations, Midway was finally able to convince the NBA to officially endorse the game, allowing them the use of the official team names and digitized player likenesses, something that truly helped set NBA Jam apart from the other arcade basketball games that had come before it. The arcade would go on to rake in a staggering figure of over $1 billion in revenue by the year 1994 alone, proving without a shadow of doubt, Midway and NBA Jam ruled the courts. Flash forward almost 30 years later, and we are now able to bring home our very own NBA Jam arcade cabinet thanks to Arcade1Up and their latest release. Featuring 3 great arcade titles of the past, NBA Jam Tournament Edition, and NBA Hangtime. Fans familiar with the original full-size arcade of NBA Jam will no doubt recognize this cabinet's iconic artwork, with its massive official NBA logo on the side panels, as well as the unmistakable orange basketball background. Arcade1Up has done a great job of recreating the original cabinet artwork here, though subtle changes are apparent, such as the omission of the Midway logo on the side panels and the NBA Jam Session logo from the front control deck, but the heart of the cabinet artwork is still there. The machine also comes with an included matching custom graphic riser that also sports the same iconic basketball pattern all around, with repeating official logos for the NBA and the namesake NBA Jam logo front and center. The riser and the cabinet are both lined with a fire engine red trim that really makes it stand out. Real arcade T-molding is used around the 4-player control deck, something we saw Arcade1Up do on their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cabinet, and like that Ninja Turtles cabinet control deck, NBA Jam also shares the same dimensions of 32 inches wide. The control deck itself features the same standard joysticks, buttons, and square restrictor gates that we have come to expect and we have seen on most recent rounds of cabinets released from Arcade1Up. While the quality could be improved here, overall the buttons and the joysticks are plenty good enough to get the job done and get you drilling 3-pointers with the best of them. Depending on which retailer you secured your cabinet from, you may or may not have the option of a light-up deck protector on your machine. I personally purchased my cabinet in a bundle from GameStop because I wanted to check out this new feature that Arcade1Up has started to offer on select new cabinet bundles. A thin LED strip is positioned underneath the cabinet screen and is fixed on top of the control deck itself to illuminate and shine onto the control deck with a subtle glow of color. By the push of a button, the light can be adjusted between several different colors or set to steadily cycle through the colors one by one. Simply turn it off with that same button if you don't want this feature active while playing. While early mock-up photos of this feature appeared to exaggerate the glowing feature a bit, I will say personally, what was delivered looks exactly like what I expected it to be. It's actually pretty neat how Arcade1Up has designed this protector, with select portions of the graphic actually being printed onto the deck protector to enhance the visual glow and the light from the LED strip. And for those curious, it powers up by plugging into the supplied Y connector to the main board on the back of the cabinet. For those of you that are not fan of having a light-up deck protector, well, there are bare-bones options being sold from other retailers as well, allowing gamers the choice of what accessories they do or do not wish to have bundled on their machine. Additionally, the GameStop bundle I purchased also came with an NBA Jam graphically themed bar stool. This one differs from others from Arcade1Up as it's not height adjustable and is only intended to be used with a cabinet on a riser, despite the pictures in the website description stating that the stool that would be included would be adjustable. This one is not. I've owned my Mortal Kombat bar stool, also from Arcade1Up, for almost a year now, and I've had no issues with durability in that time, so I would expect the same to hold true for this one as well. Other standard features found on all the NBA Jam cabinets, regardless of where you purchased it from, are the BOE brand 17-inch monitor, which features a big leap in quality over some of the earlier released cabinets we saw from Arcade1Up initially. A volume slider that allows players to gradually increase or decrease the sound coming out of the stereo speakers that are nestled under the beautifully lit marquee, featuring the classic NBA Jam logo. The classic arcade gameplay you know and love is still as great as you remember on this cabinet, allowing gamers to blast up and down the court at breakneck speeds and perform gravity-defying monster dunks to put their friends and rivals on notice. What many thought would be a legal impossibility for Arcade1Up to ever pull off due to the complexities of securing the licensing for player rosters on the 3 included games has, in my opinion, been handled extremely well from Arcade1Up. While not every single player from the original game rosters have returned, each for their own various reasons, Arcade1Up was still able to secure the vast majority of the players to use in these games. In instances where the original player's likeness was not allowed to be used, a different digital avatar is used in the player's absence instead. However, to keep in tune with the balance of the game, the original missing player's stats still remain intact. despite a different character's name and face being assigned to that roster spot, meaning the only changes to the gameplay itself are merely aesthetic, which is an absolute best case scenario in my eyes. Should the rights be negotiated and agreed upon at a later date for any of these missing players, they can be added back to the game via an online update patch from Arcade1Up directly to your NBA Jam cabinet. Other changes to the game include new built-in game menus allowing players to adjust several in-game options, including the level of computer assistance, drone difficulty, and game clock speed, as well as the ability to toggle on and off scan lines and the cheat code favorite amongst die-hard NBA Jam fans, Bighead Mode. Hidden unlockable characters remain playable through these games, and you'll likely find yourself scouring the internet once again to dig up the initials and the birth dates necessary to bring these characters back onto the courts. While there are far too many hidden characters in these games for me to confirm each and every one, unfortunately I am able to confirm that the Mortal Kombat characters are not unlockable in the Arcade1Up cabinet version of NBA Jam Tournament Edition. And if you were somehow holding out hope for Michael Jordan would be playable as well, well, let me put that rumor to bed, as his airness does not appear in any of these games, nor is he a hidden playable character.
Now, one interesting change they made is to the power button. This is no longer a switch that stays left or right when you turn it on and off, but it actually slides. So for anybody that has something like a smart outlet, this is going to be a little bit problematic because you can no longer leave your machine turned on. So I'll show you the difference. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, powers on, you got it switched and it stays over to the right. Turn it off, switch stays over to the left, and the machine powers off. However, with NBA Jam, you'll notice it's already kind of pushed all the way. Push it to the left, turns off the machine. However, the switch does not stay. It stays in that middle position. So again, anybody that has something like a smart outlet, that's going to be a little bit problematic for you. But overall, it doesn't bother me a bit, but that's how it works.
However, the most thrilling change to this machine is without a doubt the inclusion of a Wi-Fi antenna allowing users to log in and play free of charge any of these 3 built-in games online. Users will press the Live button on the center of the control deck once they have already powered up their machine. This will bring up a settings menu allowing the player to set up and pair their cabinet with their home network. Simply find your network ID in the menu, enter in your network password, and then hit Next. Once connected to the internet with your machine, you should be able to see a Wi-Fi icon in the top left-hand corner of the screen indicating you're connected. You'll then need to enter in an email address and select a username you wish to go by while you're playing online. After you're set up and ready to play, you'll simply back out to the game selection screen. There, you'll be able to see any games that are currently in progress under the Available Games menu in the right-hand corner of the screen. If you choose to join a game already in progress, you'll be inserted into that game as soon as possible. I personally have not experienced any issues with lag or gameplay delay while playing online. An occasional sound crackle or garble for a split second every so often during some random games, but nothing concerning. Though I admit I was initially surprised to see Arcade1Up not have a wired Ethernet connection on this cabinet, my personal experience playing these NBA Jam games over my own Wi-Fi connection has been very good, and I don't think I would have experienced any better gameplay if I was wired in. There are 3 basic options for your online gameplay experience. You can make yourself invisible to the world and set it to where no one will be able to find your username or join any of your games. You can also set it to only allow your specific favorites list users to find you or join any of your games. And lastly, you can set it to allow anyone to see your username and join any of your games at any time. You can also, however, mix it up and change these settings to allow you to be visible to everyone, yet still prevent people from joining your games if you wish. When visible, and depending on the settings you have chosen, other users may be able to join your game at any time while you're actively playing. So don't be shocked if you see someone randomly pop in to join you amidst a gameplay. If you're joining someone else's active game, you're at the mercy of whatever team and players that person has initially started their game as or against. And like almost every single online game ever, you will definitely experience other users rage quitting and backing out of the game before it ends. And there doesn't appear to be any type of negative consequences to this action either. I would like to see in a future update from Arcade1Up a more dedicated lobby or matchmaking system that allows users and players a little more control over the games they engage in and the teams they want to play as online. So hopefully that's something we can see on a future update patch. The included capability to play online with and against friends at no additional cost not only adds great replay value to this cabinet and the included games, but an excellent value overall. It cannot be understated how fun and exciting it is to team up with friends online and run the court against other live opponents or even the computer AI. I was very impressed with the online experience overall. Since this is obviously Arcade1Up's first foray into the world of online gaming, I'd say they did an excellent job with the ease of connectivity, the ability to add friends to a favorites list, and easily see what games are happening that you might want to join, as well as the online leaderboards. These are fantastic features that I'm glad are included.
And as much as I like the stock riser, had to switch it out and put on the lit riser from Tulsa Arcades. JC was nice enough to send this out to me. This thing absolutely sets it off completely. You know, we got a light up deck protector, we got a light up marquee, so of course we need to complete the circle, so to speak, and have the light up riser. Now, one thing to note on these though, is Tulsa Arcades is no longer including a LED strip, so you'll have to kind of supply your own LED strip, but they've taken a couple bucks off the price of the light up risers, so provide your own LED strip, save a couple bucks, and have a gorgeous looking LED light up riser to go with your NBA Jam cabinet if that's something you're into.
So now you're going to love this cabinet as much as I do. However, there's people out there that I know don't have the chance to pick up this cabinet right away. So that's where I'm going to give you a chance to win a bit of Arcade1Up and NBA Jam history. Because back at CES, when Arcade1Up was unveiling this cabinet to the world, they had the world's largest version of NBA Jam out there playable. And they also had NBA legend Clyde Drexler there on hand signing autographs, and I actually got one for you guys that I'm going to be giving away. This is hand signed by Clyde Drexler, the man himself, Clyde the Glide, on this little mini Arcade1Up basketball. So I'm going to give this away to one lucky viewer of the channel. All you have to do is like this video, share this video with your friends, and let me know down below what your favorite team is on NBA Jam and who you're going to be ruling the courts with when you get online. Alright, final impressions. What do I think of the Arcade1Up NBA Jam release? Honestly, I gotta say, I freaking love it. I really do. I mean, the online playability and connectivity is amazing, and the fact that Arcade1Up did so well with that feature on their first shot is really impressive because, let's be honest, I really expected it to not be that good. I expected there to be all sorts of connectivity issues and maybe some lag just because, you know, Arcade1Up is not a company that is experienced with setting up, you know, an online connective world, and they just did a great job right out of the gate. So it really gets me excited for future cabinets down the road that might have online playability and connectivity as well. As far as the rosters and everything they did with the NBA Jam cabinet, I think they did a great job with that. They were able to secure a vast majority of the players, much more than I think a lot of people expected them to be able to get, because, you know, for 2 years now, we've seen the message boards just flooded with comments saying that NBA Jam was an impossibility. There was no way Arcade1Up could secure licenses to the players. And they got almost everybody on there. In the cases where they didn't get the players, well, they did a good job with allowing those players' attributes to still remain there, despite the fact that there's a different character's face and name assigned to that player. So in my eyes, again, that is a great choice on their part because it doesn't really affect the gameplay. I definitely recommend this cabinet. If you want to pick one up, there's product links down in the video description box below. You should be able to find them in stores rather soon all across the United States, because honestly, this is going to be a hot ticket item for a lot of people, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. That is it for this video review. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe for more great nerdy content like this. Like and share the video if you found the information helpful. And as always, thanks for watching, guys. It really means a lot.